Hey, what's up guys, Mashin here, coming back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're talking the best potential Paris investments. Now the first thing we need to figure out is where Paris sits. That's because we can look at this right here with Antwerp. As you can see, the best time to buy was actually after the sale was removed. And if we look at Stockholm, it's the complete opposite, where the sale happened and it absolutely exploded. We don't want to get stuck in a situation like this where the capsules explode and we didn't make our investment yet. So we need to come up with when is potentially the best time to buy, and also the cheapest time to buy. The sponsor for today's video is SkinSwap. Now SkinSwap is the premier place for CSGO skins and Rust skins. They've got a trading feature with highly competitive rates. They've got a super easy to use selling feature. And if you're looking to deposit today, you're going to be getting a 40% bonus on your deposit. And the best thing, if you sign up with the link in the description, you're going to be getting a free case worth up to $150. So what are you waiting for? Join today and fill all of your CSGO skin needs. Now to help figure out which situation we are in, there's this article right here. The number of capsules sold on the Steam market 7 days after the capsules got tradable from the 75% off sale. And the data is quite clear. Antwerp sold about 1.6 million and Paris sold about 2.4 million. And with that alone, you might believe that Paris is going to be way more overinvested into than Antwerp. However, there's some things that this article doesn't specifically point out. The first of which is that there is a major difference between the amount of time between the sale starting and the major finishing. Looking at Paris and Antwerp, Paris was almost 3 times longer in length of a wait. And that's just a period where hype builds because people know the sale is coming. They're not unboxing a lot of capsules, and you can look at any demand graph and see that it's pretty much non-existent during that time. Now my personal strategy is to get all of my investing in before the sale is up. That's just because you don't want to lose out and be stuck paying almost 50% more for a capsule that was just removed about a week ago. With that being said, I also do have funds on standby where if I want to invest more because the capsule becomes cheaper, I have that availability. This is what I suggest you do because it's very flexible and it's something that you're not going to lose out big time if some capsule absolutely explodes right away. Now where to buy your capsules might seem very straightforward. You're either going to pay with cash on a third-party website or buy off Steam, but the truth is it's not as straightforward, and that's because it's not dependent on you at all. It's actually dependent on Valve and what Valve does. That's because right now they've already had some currency conversion problems. People in Turkey can buy these capsules for under 23 cents, and that's a very significant discount, almost 10% of what people around the world are paying. Other currencies as well have also seen decreasing quite significantly, which is why it's very important that you're not investing super early in case something like this does happen. You can go ahead and take advantage of the situation. Obviously, if you have cash, use a third-party website, and just remember that Steam funds are not a 1-to-1 ratio with actual cash. Now I wanted to answer the question of what is the best investment you could make, and to do so I had to get a lot of data from Antwerp, considering that's the really only area we can go to that has somewhat reasonable data, because can't look at Stockholm because they didn't have glitters and the hollows return were different, can't look at Rio because it was just a super low supply, so all we're left with is Antwerp, and what I found was super interesting. Now this data is from about 1 month after the sale ended to the current date. That's because that was the lowest price for all of these things all across the board to get the maximum return and possibly the most consistent all across the board. So what I found was the glitters for these 7 teams right here went ahead and returned on average about 290%, the maximum being Cloud9 at 512 and the lowest being Navi at 109. But the hollows were what really surprised me, almost double what the glitters did at 521.3% return, almost a 900% return for the Cloud9 Hollow in its current form. This is quite possibly why we're seeing such high Hollow prices for Paris currently, is because the Hollows have consistently been a very significant gainer for a lot of investments, and some people just decide they want to get in early. Now I don't think the current prices are sustainable at all, but it is a very interesting piece. Another thing to note is the fact that the Cloud9 paper was the only one with significant returns, almost 700%, showing that some paper stickers do still have potential. However, it is only a piece, and it's about half the puzzle because we still got the entirety of capsules and a couple extra things I threw in at the end. Now the first thing I want to go over is the autograph capsules. Now these ones did absolutely terrible. Even the capsule that had the Rocks Hollow, the contenders, only got 325% for an average of 185% of profit. Now this is definitely a great return, don't get me wrong, but compared to the rest of the board here, it's the absolute lowest. The team capsules on average returned about 289%, almost the exact same as the glitters. It really seems like the only thing that outperformed everything at this point was those holos, and those were for very popular teams. I wanted to check out if I chose really cheap holos, the cheapest on the market for Antwerp, did they still consistently beat out the capsules? And what I found blew my mind, because they did. I looked at big ENTs, NIP, and 4s, and they returned almost the exact same theory that the holos were just better. They came in on average at 435% profit, the max being 4s with 585, and the lowest being ENTs, the logo that has been reused the exact same every single major at 338% profit. It shows that once these holos get cheap enough, the potential is there for all of them, and it's not exclusive to the ones with huge fan bases. Now, talking about Paris investments, one, make sure you're doing your full research. This video is not conclusive enough, and two, I don't suggest you buy anything today, but the best capsule, at least for the autograph, has got to be the Contenders. It's got everything we look for, and the fact that when we talked about the Antwerp autograph capsules, the only one that outperformed the rest was the one with the very popular Rocks Holo, and we can see the exact same thing here with the Contenders autograph having the VSM, the ROPS, and the Dexter Holo, three of the most popular autograph holos right now. Now, it obviously is quite dependent on supply and demand held after these capsules are removed, but if I had to make a current decision right now, I'd say this one stands far above the rest when we're talking about the autograph capsules, and the ROI shows that this one currently has the most in-demanded stickers. Now, I want to be clear, that's just my interpretation off the data we went over, with the facts being that that capsule is currently sitting in the most optimal position out of the three. Now, talking about the team logo capsules, it's not as easy. If we look at Antwerp, the one that performed a little bit better than the rest was the Legends. However, that seems to be an inconsistent trend, with some of the time the Legends is the best and some of the time it's the worst. This is where it comes down to my personal opinion, and I really like the Challengers capsule. That's because the holo demand is split across 4 holos. That is completely different from the rest of them. Looking at the Contenders, we can see that it's mainly for the Maus and the Fluxo, and the Legends, it's mainly for Furia and Na'Vi. However, for the Challenger sticker, we've got Apex, Pain Gaming, G2, and Gamer Legion that are all sitting above $5 currently, showing that they have the demand. And when it comes to crafting, the Apex Holo does rival some of the most desirable from Paris. Now, obviously, one of the most important factors of the supply we have no clue about, so I can't really speak too much on it, just know it's obviously very important. Now, investing into individual stickers is what we've shown to be the most profitable way to walk away from a major with. However, there's no opportunity at this current moment. The holo prices are just way too high for it to be considered a good investment, at least in my opinion. Theoretically, these prices need to drop down before you make an investment into Paris for specific stickers, and I'm highly confident that will. If you look at past trends, prices generally peak around 1 to 2 weeks after the sale is released, and then they usually start to come down. Combine that with the fact that this sale is expected to be over 2 months long, and I think you're going to have more than enough time to pick up individual stickers. But that's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Over the rest of the day.